everyone, how are you doing? Hope you've been enjoying the festival to the hilt and you've been participating in the art workshops and listening to the beautiful stories and meeting the amazing authors. Today we have another action-packed day, which is day 4 of the Get Set Parent Children's Literature, Art and Music Festival in association with Vishwarang. Today we're going to do a lot of interesting things. We're first going to meet Mrs. Geeta Ramanujam from Kathalaya as she enthralls us with some amazing stories. We're going to make our own book of doodles with Demise. And finally, we're going to meet a father-son duo as they teach us how to make amazing puppets. So I hope you're all geared up for day 4. But before we get into today's session, you know what to do. Press the bell icon to stay subscribed onto my YouTube channel, Get Set Parent with Pallavi, and also follow me on my Insta and my Facebook handles so that you are completely tuned to all the amazing stuff we do on our channel. So kids, today we're going to start off on a really fun note. We have this illustrious lady with us this afternoon. Her name is Mrs. Geeta Ramanujam. She's from the Kathalaya Trust and is known as the pioneer of storytelling in India. She has done phenomenal work in this field and is known to bring folklore and grandma's tales to life. She is the recipient of several international and national awards, and she's an Ashoka Fellow as well. So without much further ado, I'm very delighted to invite onto our channel today the beautiful Mrs. Geeta Ramanujam. Over to you, Mrs. Geeta.
When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know, you say hello, hello. When you're happy and you know, you say hello, hello. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you say hello, hello. And there was a very happy man. And this happy man was going from one village to another village telling stories. And he was singing this song as he went on his caravan. And as he was riding his caravan, he stopped. Because in this particular village where he landed, he knew there were a lot of children. But he also knew that this was not, there was something not right. There was something not okay. And this was the time when he decided to step in to that village and to find out why, when there were children, nobody was laughing, shouting, screaming, nothing. So our happy man went to the gate and he opened. You see, this gate was rusty because nobody had gone in, nobody had come out. He went inside and he said, "Children, where are you? Children?" But nobody responded. And then he said, "I scream, you scream, your scream for ice cream. Bulla bulla la, saskarula, if you want chocobara, vanilla, narula." Come on, children. I'm sure some of you might like an ice cream. Maybe there are boys. Let's go fly a kite up in the air so high. Let's go fly a kite. Nobody was responding. Lollipops, lollipops, red and blue and green. Where are the children? Ring, ice cream.
Uncle, I want one chocobar.
He looked down and there was this little girl who was tugging at him. And he said, wow, that's nice, I'll give you a chocobar. And he gave her a chocobar. And there was someone else pulling him, uncle, I think I want a vanilla. Oh, I want butterscotch. I want a balloon. I want a kite. I want everything. I want some toys. Do you have something? I like your hat. Can I have your hat? And all the kids had come out of all the houses. And now they started singing again. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. And the children were dancing and singing, and who dares to laugh? There was a sound that was coming behind him. He turned around and he saw a tall man with a moustache and a big hat. And he asked that man, who are you? The man said, I am the mayor of this town and we don't allow anyone to laugh or sing. You can't make the children laugh, you know. But why? Well, that's the rule. And who sets the rules? Well, there is a monster. Nobody has seen that monster. He looks like an animal, they say. He looks like a bird, a crocodile, I don't know what. But that monster comes every evening and he takes away someone or the other. And you always hear someone screaming, ow! So we don't allow anyone to laugh or sing in this village. You know, children are very scared here. It's very rare that you have them all outside here. And by the time the happy man looked around, all the children had run back into their villages. And they had gone into their houses and shut the doors. If you looked at their families, the fathers were always very, and the mothers, the children. So now the happy man was a little concerned and he said, I think I should go and meet this monster. The mayor said, I wouldn't do it if I were you, but I'm going to meet this monster. Now if you dare disobey me, I'll have you hang from this tree tomorrow evening. I'll have you hung. You understand? You won't be alive. Oh, that doesn't matter. I think I'm not afraid of my life. So that happy man. All the children, before they went back, they tugged at him and said,
Uncle, don't go. That monster will kill you, uncle, don't go.
But the happy man said, when you are a happy person, and when you speak the truth, that's what my mother always said, you don't have to be scared of anything. And so, he took his bag and he put on his hat, and then he started going up and he started climbing that mountain. He climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed up above that mountain, because the monster was staying beyond that mountain. So he climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed and walked and walked and walked until he was very tired. And then he ran down that hill, and there was a beautiful valley. And in that valley there was a big pond. In that there were lovely butterflies, there were roses, and there were beautiful flowers. And he thought, such a beautiful valley, why would a monster stay here? I think these people have got illusions. I don't think there's any monster here. In fact, he loved the fragrance of the flowers. He loved the bees buzzing. 2 frogs came out of that pond and they were singing a song. And they were singing a beautiful song.
Kawasomo yomawani ka koge koka koge kopyong lapawite kakoge kopyong motawite kakoge kopyong pyong pyong.
And they went inside that water. Everything is so happy here. Thought our happy man. Now he was also feeling very hungry and he was very tired. So he removed his hat and then he decided to remove his cloak too because he was feeling very tired. Now there was a beautiful, lovely, big peepal tree. He went and sat under that tree and he began to feel very sleepy. Since he was very tired and he had nothing to sleep and nothing to, eat, he was so tired. He was very tired. And now he sat there and he was about to sleep when he heard a thundering sound. And he heard top, 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 the sound of the earth shaking. Now he was a little scared, even though he was a brave and happy man. He was sitting under that tree and he felt someone coming from behind him. It was a loud breathing sound. He was a bit scared, and though he wanted to convince himself, the breeze, it didn't help. His mother, no. He thought of his father who said, always be courageous. Now he had a bag, right? So he put his hand inside the bag and he took out a mirror and he looked at that mirror. He looked at that mirror and he told himself, I'm fine, I'm okay. But he could see that he was sweating all over. And he tried to pep himself up because he saw something coming very close to him. Now, this monster was behind him. And the monster was almost going to crush our man because he came. And he was about to kill our happy man. And it was at that time that our happy man was also looking at the mirror. So he looked at the mirror and he saw this and he screamed, "Ow!" And then he heard thop, a big loud sound, crash behind him. He turned around and he saw this huge man from this end to that end, lying. I don't know whether he was dead or not, but he couldn't make out where his eyes were, where his nose was, because it was so ugly. It was terrible. But what was transparent is one heart, which was very ugly. Oh, yuck. Now our storyteller, our happy man, wanted to know if this man or this monster was alive. He was a bit scared, but he did go and he put his ears and saw that his heart had stopped beating completely and that monster was lying. Now, the happy man is really happy. Happy that this ugly monster, especially with the ugly heart, had died. So what did he do? Well, he put on his cloak and he put on his hat And then he climbed and climbed and climbed that mountain. And when he climbed to the top of that mountain, he found all the children downstairs below that mountain, because they were all looking to see if this man would come back alive. And when they saw this happy man, they were so happy that they began to sing again. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. Now, as they were singing, the mayor came and told the happy man, well, I didn't expect you to be alive, you know. Why don't you be the mayor of this town? The happy man said, no, I can't, because I need to make other children happy in other villages, and I need to go on my way. And as he began to go to make that move, there was that little girl who said,
Uncle, don't go.
and he said, I have to go, children. And then the little girl said,
But uncle, you didn't tell me how that monster died. You didn't tell me how he died.
now it was for those children to answer. So one child said, the monster died because he screamed aloud. The happy man screamed aloud. Do you think so? I don't think so. And then some of them said, some children said, the monster died because the happy man had a very nice heart. Well, that was also not the right answer. Well, I'll tell you what. You remember that he pulled out a mirror. So for the first time when he saw his own reflection in the mirror, he also, the monster for the first time looked at his own reflection in that mirror. And you know, the monster had never seen his ugly heart. And when he saw his ugly heart in the mirror, he stopped. The heart stopped. And that's how our monster died. And that ugly heart was not really physically ugly. But you see, that monster had a very bad heart, because he would carry away children, he would carry away people, and he would make that village very unsound to live in. But now that the monster had died, all the children were very happy, and they all shouted, yay! Because, you know, children need to be happy. So when you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you snap your fingers. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you slap your thighs. When you're happy and you know, you say hello, hello. When you're happy and you know, you say hello, hello. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you say hello, hello. When you're happy and you know, you say goodbye, goodbye. When you're happy and you know, you say goodbye, goodbye. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you say goodbye, goodbye. When you're happy and you know, you do all five. Hello, goodbye. When you're happy and you know, you do all five. Hello, goodbye. When you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. When you're happy and you know, you do all five. Hello, goodbye. And there went our happy man. He pulled on his sledge and his caravan and he went away to another village, and he kept wandering from one village to another village to make hundreds and thousands of children happy. Now, isn't that a good story? Story of the monster with an ugly heart. Is there a monster really with an ugly heart? I think we all have. We're all kind of monsters with ugly hearts sometimes, isn't it? And this was a very true experience for me. Because not all the time people are very friendly, very nice. So when I was teaching, I was an English teacher, and someone who didn't like the way I was teaching English was very critical about me, and I felt very sad. I was very disheartened, and that's when I went to my own home in Chennai, and I always used to exchange a lot of things with my father. And I told my father, that person was a person with an ugly heart. And he said, from where did you get that expression? I told him, I read this folk tales from Poland, and there is this monster with an ugly heart in Krakow. I don't know where it is, Papa. And he said, well, why don't you write an article and send it to the newspapers? And I did that on an old typewriter that my father had. Well, it got published. It got published in the Hindu first page, and this was in 1994. Well, after that, I became a storyteller and had a chance, because I was invited, to the Storytellers Museum in Poland. I went there, and where did I go? I went to Krakow. And what did I see? I see this big, ugly monster. It's in a park. It's in a children's park, and children can actually go through the mouth of this ugly monster, and it's a game. And I was so happy that this was a true story maybe, and that I could actually go to Poland and actually saw my story come alive 10 years later. And that's the story for you from Poland. This is the Storyteller Show, and today we are going to listen to a story of a girl whose name was Inga and who was very, very lazy, and she hated working. She did not like to work at all. She always sat with her hands on her lap. She never helped her mother, she never helped her father, nor her brother, nor her sister, while they swept, swapped, cooked, and made a lot of things clean and tidy. She sat, hands on her lap. Now this can't go on for too long, can it? So one day, it was the holiday time, and she went to her cousin's house for the holiday. There were a lot of cousins, and she had her own room, and all the cousins were all cleaning up, tidying up, cleaning their shelves and reading the books and putting them back in their places, but not Inga. Inga sat, hands on her lap. Her room was getting very messy, dirty, filthy, the books scattered everywhere, and dust and the smell. But Inga just sat, hands on her lap. Would you do that? Oh my God, what would she do? Now, Inga was also not too happy. What would she do? And suddenly, that night, there was a godfather. And the godfather said, "Hey, Inga, I know how you're feeling." He snapped his fingers. He clapped, and a magic. There were 5 little froggies which appeared, and they sat on Inga's fingers. Then what happened? Suddenly, her hands began to itch, and it began to move, and she could feel the movement. Oh my God, this is wonderful. My fingers are moving, my fingers are moving. And now, these 5 magicians also got into her right hand. She could now move all her 10 fingers. Inga was so happy. Her thumbs, her pointer finger, middle finger, the ring finger,
And the tiny finger. Oh, she felt so wonderful.
it was lovely. She could move all her fingers. Here is Thumbkin, here is Thumbkin, Who are you? Who are you? How are you today, sir? Very well and thank you. Run and hide, run and hide. There was pointer, there was middle finger, there was ring finger and the tiny little finger. So all the fingers wished each other and they got together and they did a lot of work. They swept, they swabbed, they cleaned and they made Inga so happy. She had a big smile on her face and Inga no longer sat hands on her lap. That was a story also from Sweden. It is a folk tale, but it applies to all of us, doesn't it? This is the Storyteller Show, and today we have a picture story for you. Now, it was Independence Day, which was August 15th. A row of houses, and this was on MG Road, they say. Now, these houses were all the same, and nobody talked to each other who was staying in these houses. Then there was a man who was so happy, and he was painting our national flag, as you can see. Now, as he was painting, there was a crow who, when he saw the Kesar ka dibba, thought it was Kesari Bath. So now he wanted to pick up. Now when he went and picked up, he found that it was paint. So where did he go? He went and dropped it on one of the houses. Now there was a painter who was staying there and his name was Paraman. Now Paraman came out and he saw that on the roof of the house there was a pachak, one orange spot. Now he got an idea. Since he was a painter, he felt very happy. He brought his box of paints, started painting his roof. And when he painted his roof, he made it look like a sky. And he put a rainbow and he painted his windows. Now his whole house changed. When his whole house changed, his neighbor who heard pachak, 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 pachak sound came out and said, "Hey Paraman, what are you doing?" "Hey, I'm painting my dream house," he said. "Oh, come, have a cup of chai with me." And now Paraman went to his neighbor's house and after that he had a cup of chai. And at that time his neighbor said, "You know, my childhood dream was always to go in a ship and to sail on the sea." And Paraman said, "Hey, I can help you. I can change your house. So we'll make the entrance a little different." "Ah," said Mr. Singh, "I think that's a good idea." And soon they had the entrance of the house look like a ship. Now just imagine when you're entering a house, you're entering through a ship as the doorway. Now tock, 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 the sound that was coming interested the neighbor. And who was the neighbor? She was Amina Begum. And Amina Begum said, "Hey, what are you guys doing? You know what my dream was? To always live in the Taj Mahal." "Aha," they both said. So what do? They made her house like an arch. They put some minarets and they made it look almost like the Taj Mahal. She was so happy. Now Rosie, the neighbor, said, "I always wanted to fly high in the sky, like in a balloon, you know. I love flying objects." So all of them helped Rosie and they tied balloons and a lot of things in her house, put some umbrellas and changed the way her house looked. Now you see, Rosie's house looked so different. So now In that street, the houses had all changed. You see, the same drab houses now looked so colorful. Only one house remained, and all these neighbors started talking to each other now. And then they said, we should live like this together, celebrate all our festivals together, and be happy. Hey ho, they said. At that time, it was not called MG Road. So, that street had no name. So, all of them decided that they will call it MG Road, which was the Mahatma Gandhi Road. And now you see, the houses don't look anymore like this, but they all looked very, very colorful. The last house is still vacant. Do you think you want to come and live your dreams in that house? Maybe you can make it the way you want and live happily with all your friends. Now that was a story of Paraman and his dream house. I'm sure you liked it.
Absolutely amazing, Mrs. Geeta. We had such an amazing time, and we are so looking forward to a second session of storytelling that you're going to be doing with us on this festival. So kids, let's just take a quick break and come running back, because we have Demise who is going to show us how doodling works and how we can make our own storybooks. So let's take a quick break and come back and join Demise for a doodling workshop. All right, so see you soon at the other end. Bye.